Hi everyone, this is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess, and today I wanted to drop a channeling regarding the purpose of a distorted masculine. And when we talk about distorted masculines, a lot of the times we are in these soul partnerships or connections, and there's a lot of different karmic energies and karmic interference and things like that. And then, as you continue on your journey of self love and self care and detaching from that situation and letting it ride out the way that it's supposed to, you realize that that wasn't really a divine partner, that that was really a distorted partner. And they're basically there to teach you things about yourself that were kind of incomplete from past lives and then from this life. I got my notes, so I'm gonna just kind of read some things off here. And a lot of this is from a lot of this learning that I'm gonna share is from my own personal experience, but also from the experience of working with all of you and just working with women, working with youth, working with all kinds of people, and just noticing this phenomenon. So a lot of the times these distorted masculines or distorted feminine, take it how it resonates, because there's a lot of masculines who watch my channel too, and their feminine is very much in a distorted state. They're still dealing with a lot of karma and trauma from a past life, meaning that they have not done a lot of the clearing work necessary that you may have done in order to be able to be more clear and aware in this lifetime in terms of their mission and their path and why spirituality is important. So because of that, they end up themselves attracting karmic relationships and engaging in karmic behaviors that are supposed to teach them a lesson about themselves. But instead of them learning the lessons, they kind of stay there and then descend with that karmic energy that they are engaged with, right? They don't learn the lesson. The maintenance people came today and they opened up all the windows and all the doors and they let this moth in. But anyways, so they don't learn their lesson. Right. So on this journey, one of the first things that I feel like is really important in terms of understanding a distorted masculine is understanding what happened in a past life to make them so distorted that they're completely disconnected from their spirituality and their higher self in this lifetime. Because that's usually what ends up happening. One person, usually the feminine, is on their spiritual path. They're doing their healing work. They're ascending. They're learning all that stuff. And then they are patiently waiting for their counterpart to be able to wake up and come and meet them, where they are at. And a lot of the times what ends up happening is the feminine then ends up descending as well and picking up karmic energies and karma and trauma because they're waiting for this individual to, learn their lesson. But in the process of that, they're picking up their baggage, if that makes some sense, right? So that's the first thing. What happened in a past life? What happened with your masculine or feminine on their own? And then what happened between you two, right? In a past life that is breeding a lot of karmic energies in this lifetime. And I talked about this in one channeling where I put a lot of the times the karmic is a past life demon that the masculine or the feminine has to conquer in this lifetime. And you have to think about whatever it is in that karmic that the masculine cannot let go of, or whatever. It's like a reflection of their inner wounds and then their past life wounds. Like, for instance, if your masculine is with the karmic just because they have money or status, that means your masculine has a deep past life wound around money, safety, security, or survival. If your masculine is with the karmic because they have a specific type of appearance, that means that your masculine has some type of wounding around being with someone and experiencing trauma because of their appearance, or lacking social mobility or wealth or something like that because of their appearance. So they attach to a karmic in this lifetime because of that. It's going to be different for a lot of people, but you have to think on that level, because then you'll be like, okay, this is why this is happening. This is the lesson that they need to learn. And then you'll understand, okay, let me step back and let them learn their lesson, because this is something that only that karmic can teach them, right? Another thing too is you have to think about what happened between you and your masculine in a past life. So I call them distorted masculines because a lot of us are dealing with distorted. I won't say I'm not dealing with no distorted masculine period, but a lot of us are and or were dealing with distorted masculines in the sense that they're still carrying a wounding in their consciousness from a past life. I'm gonna just give you a little bit of my intake. In a past life, the first lifetime that I saw with my masculine, we both had escaped slavery. I know. I was like, oh, this is epic. And I was a seamstress, and my masculine, he like knew how to build. He's an architect. And we were able to escape, and I used my sewing things, and he used his building things, and we were able to like get a house, and he had a little store and things like that. And then we were both murdered, right, together. Then in the next lifetime, My masculine still carried a lot of that wounding energy, and he was very much violent towards me, and then he killed me, right? Then in this lifetime, the same thing tried to enact itself, and I saw it before I even met the distorted individual that I dealt with. I saw them in the dream state, like 3 years ahead of time, and it was a big man carrying a big ass sword, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I woke up so afraid. But then, as I continued on my journey and learning, it was the King of Swords. That's what the dream was telling me. The King of Swords is coming, and the masculine has a lot of distorted air energy in his chart, but their south node is in Libra, right? And Libra is what? King of Swords energy. So you have also too, if you really, really want to know, look into inside of the birth chart, the 12th house, Saturn, as well as the south node can tell you what specifically happened in a past life that really caused a lot of karma in this lifetime between you and the masculine that you're currently dealing with, right? So that's one thing that I want to put up there. Now, one of the things too is these masculines, the purpose of the distorted masculines is to teach you about your codependency. They teach you what love is not. They teach you how to be self-reliant, and they teach you how to cultivate more self-esteem. Because sometimes we come onto this journey with some type of debilitation from the trauma that we went through as children or from our past life. Our energy centers are compromised, usually the solar plexus chakra. So, when your solar plexus chakra is compromised, you usually attract, it's like moth to a flame. You attract narcissistic individuals or codependent individuals who are like, oh, their energy center is open, ding, 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 so I can go and suck off of them. They're an open feeding source, right? So that's some of the times why we attract these distorted masculines. So if you know that this is one of the dynamics that's gone on in your partnership, then the first thing that you need to look at in terms of doing is getting your solar plexus chakra balanced and in check, so that you're not continuing sleeping like a feeding source for, the distorted or divine masculine that you're dealing with. Because a lot of the times, what's up happening is the masculine, because they are dealing with past life demons and karmic energies, they descend so low to 2D demon. So they're opening themselves up as a conduit for energies and entities from lower dimensions and from other planetary bodies and even other galaxies, in order to be a harvesting and energy source off of you. And then they bring a karmic that just amplifies that. And a lot of the times the karmic is not even about the masculine. The karmic is about you. It's teaching you a lesson about yourself. The karmic is literally like a complete rendition of who the divine feminines are and masculines are not, right? That's why you guys have a karmic in your relationship, so you can really see this is what happens when you don't do your inner work. This is what happens when you don't do your healing work. And the karmic, you are also a lesson for them too, in terms of this is why it's important to practice self-care. And this is what happens. This is how you can be when you get blessed by the Most High for doing the Most High's work, by doing your inner work, and by being a good person, right? And staying within the laws of the universe and following the laws of karma. That's the karmic is learning a lesson from you too. So you have to see it as that. And when you see it as that, it kind of like stops this whole vortex of drama and chaos that you guys are in, and you pull your energy out of it. And then usually what ends up happening is later down the road, the whole relationship between the masculine and the karmic dissolves, because you were the glue that kind of kept them together, because they kind of use you as like a feeding source for that relationship, which is very toxic and demonic. And then for each of their individual selves, right? So pull your energy out, work on your solar plexus so that you're not a feeding source for these karmics and for the distorted masculines. So let's see here. Yeah. A lot of the times too, you are a test for the masculine in regards to their inner childhood wounds. That's why sometimes the masculines, they abuse you, they neglect you, they talk bad about you, they gaslight you. It's all in a way trying to get back at you for being who you are. Because there's something about your energy, because remember, you've done a lot of the work and you're still coming intact from past lives, right? You're still bringing that spiritual energy. The masculine is jealous of that because they can't have that. It's the demon that they harbor within them. So instead of them to be like, wow, this is like the person that the Most High like set up for me, they must really care about me and really love me. Why don't I do what I need to do to get on this person's levels to meet them where they're at, instead of trying to destroy them? The masculines, they can't think about that. They can't think like that, because remember I told you, they've descended to the level of 2D demon. And it's like that book that I posted about pedagogy of the oppressed. When you dehumanize other people, you dehumanize yourself. So these masculines, in their efforts to kind of one-up you and prove a point that they're only proving to, the lower forces and to the karmic, they lose their humanity playing with you. And because you guys have a soul contract and because you're connected spiritually, not only are they just building up more debt in their Akashic records, so they're gonna have to go and explain to Ma'at and Anubis, why did you do that to your soul partner? Why did you do that to your twin? Because remember, they're connected to you spiritually. They're whatever they do to you, they do to themselves. They don't understand that though, right? Because remember, they don't live in that type of reality that we live in, and they don't have like mystic rites of passage. And even if they do have mystic rites of passage, the quest to dehumanize and the energy and the satisfaction that they get from dehumanizing you is so it gives them like a tickle. It's like an orgasm for them, right? So it's like, fuck, like if I can get a nut off that way by abusing her and just being distorted, why would I do my inner healing work to go to try to meet her where she's at? I get more fun out of doing this, right? But they don't know that they're actually building up a bigger karmic debt for themselves in the long run. And a lot of the times, you know, with these distorted masculines, the relationship doesn't work out because they have a lot of inner childhood wounds, as I just mentioned. A lot of the time it's around either the mother or lack thereof, or it's around the father or lack thereof. Their inner masculine and their inner feminine is damaged because they were raised by a damaged masculine and a damaged feminine. Even sometimes we had that same exact thing too, but it's the way in which we used it to transform ourselves and improve our lives that made us different. And the masculine sees that strength in you, and they see like, how was she able to overcome a lot of those things? She probably went through even worse than me. And she's not bitter, she's not resentful, she's not power hungry, she's modest. All of the qualities and ethics that they wish they embodied, but they can't because they rather play in the dog eat dog karmic world where it's like a carnival for them to play power games with people and things like that. Because remember, they've descended to the level of 2D demon. So that's the thing that you have to realize. And then what ends up happening is, as you continue on your journey and you heal yourself, you let go of codependency, you raise your vibration, and you change your mind, which changes your vibration. You change your thought pattern, which changes your vibration. You are no longer attracted or even a conduit for that masculine energy. Then they want to come back and, oh, I want to reconcile and da-da-da-da. And then you go through another cycle with them again. They drain your energy again. They make you descend again. They put you in between them and the karmic again. And then you step out again, disconnect your energy again, heal yourself again. This time it's a little bit harder because they probably did even more damage and were even more intricate with the games, right? And then, you know what? You go through the cycle again. Or for some of you, you're like, you know what? Soul partner or not, I'm done with this. Because there's no way that the Most High would bring me somebody like this that I'm supposed to be with and build with that is treating me like this. You guys get it. Ding, 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 ding. The light bulb kind of hits off. That this person is a lesson. Yes, there's a soul contract and a soul partnership, but it was not meant to go as far as you wanted it to go. It wasn't supposed to be for the rest of your life, right? So then what ends up happening? You get your divine, you finally, after you've done your healing, after you've done your clearing work and all those different things, you get your divine partner, the real divine partner. And the divine partner, they do all the things that your distorted masculine didn't do. It's like that song by Joe, all the things your man won't do, right? I hope you guys know that song. I think you guys will really like that. And I think, one of the things for me is music is really powerful in terms of healing, and it helps me like quantum leap into the future. And then I realized like, whoa, this lesson was all just to prepare me for my true soulmate. And my soulmate is going to do everything that the masculine didn't do, because now I learned how to do those things for myself. I learned how to love on myself. I learned how to pamper myself. I take care of myself first, that type of thing. Before I went on that crazy journey, I did all those different things for myself, but I needed to do them in a deeper way, more meaningful way, right? And put as much oomph and pizzazz as I did for the people for myself. And then because I was able to master that, and because I was able to master all those other things that we talked about beforehand, I can meet my divine masculine and we can help each other heal without the tower moments. See, the thing with the distorted masculine, you get your lessons and you get your healing as well as with the divine masculine. But with the distorted masculine, those healings come through tower moments, and then you have to go hermit mode and then through the death process. You see what I'm saying? But with these other masculines, you learn through the lovers, right? You learn through the Hierophant, being in a committed soul partnership, right? You learn through Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. That's how you guys learn and you heal each other. And it's much more spiritually based. They're able to meet you where you're at. And a lot of the times they recognize like, whoa, this is a very powerful woman that I'm or man that I'm able to meet. I'm not going to subjugate them. I'm not going to abuse them. I'm not going to harm them, because they're powerful. why don't I learn how to be just as powerful as them, and we can go on this journey of being together? The distorted masculines and feminines, they can't think like that, because remember, they live in a dog eat dog world, and remember, a lot of them are energy vampires. So it's either I drain your energy, or and that's it. That's the only option for them: draining and stealing energy, right? Because eventually, they, like I said, they descend to 2D demon, but then they become succubus and incubus workers. You see, divine feminines and masculines, we're also workers, but we're bodhisattvas, meaning we work for the Most High to pull individuals out of hell and into the light. The distorted masculines and karmic energies, they work to drain energy and pull people down into the darkness, because there's a war for souls right now. So now, that's what I had in regards to dealing with the distorted masculine, and then moving to a divine masculine. And the thing here is like, okay, well, how am I going to know this person's divine? Is because they're different from all the other individuals that you've dealt with. And you'll know if it's a divine masculine or a divine feminine, because they don't do the different behaviors that the distorted masculine did. And because you've set your standards, and because you've learned now what a true partnership is, you'll be able to see, wow, okay, that's what I dealt with that distorted individual and all those towers and things like that. This individual is going to make me something completely different, right? That's how you know that they're divine. Another thing too, what ends up happening when you're masculine, they don't learn the past life lessons, and the distorted masculine or feminine, they don't learn the lessons, they don't heal, they continue to engage in karmic energies. They basically become more calcified, and they become more disconnected from their divine self and from your soul connection. So what ends up happening is then they get split off away from you, and then that divine takes that energy from that soul partner, and then they put it into another human being in order for you to be able to have like a soul partner, right? Or with someone else. That's what happens. Their contract, like I talked about this on Patreon with the spiritual courts, the contract is rewritten in the Akashic records, and then you create a new Akashic record with someone else. So that's what ends up happening. Some people are like, okay, well, if I'm not with my divine masculine, who am I going to be with? The divine is going to put that energy into someone else, because they lose that energy by engaging with karmics. They're no longer divine. They're distorted, you see? So that's kind of like the analogy of Jacob's ladder. Behold, I saw them as going up and down the ladder, right? So these masculines and feminines continue to descend while you're ascending. The divine is not going to keep you waiting for them, right? Like to get their shit together as they're going up and down and teetering up and down the ladder. No, they're going to take that energy away from them. They're going to make sure that they learn their karmic lessons once and for all. Then they're going to put that energy into someone else who actually truly is ready to be divine, is not calcified, has learned their lessons, and can meet you and assist you on your journey. That's what ends up happening. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go post the rest of this on my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and do an ancestral channeling regarding distorted and divine masculine partners. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.